welcome to my channel. This is Tuğçe Odur, and as you understood from the title, today I'll be doing my August bullet journal. Maybe some of you remember I did my first bullet journal last month, which I have a video I linked down below. And a couple of videos ago, actually, I did this design, and there's a video about it also. I linked down below too, if you would like to see. So it's gonna be my second bullet journal, and the theme is gonna be underwater. So let's get started. This is my first page, and I think to put a very tiny design here with a nice quote in the middle. For this, I'm gonna use a very known watercolor technique, wet on wet. So I'm putting water on the page first, then I'm preparing my nice blue mixture and putting the paint on it. Then I'm preparing a bit darker blue, and I'm just leaving some drops on it and letting the watercolor do its magic. Now I'm letting it dry and I'm moving on the next page. Here I'm a bit afraid to paint directly on the paper because my papers are super thin, so it can pass through the other side of the page. For this I'm gonna use a watercolor paper. I'm gonna do my design on it and stick it on this page later. Here I'm gonna use a bit different watercolor technique for you to see. I'm putting the color first, and I'm taking a wet brush and putting it beside the color and let the color get wet and melt down. It creates very nice effect also. Now I'm starting tail with a very dark blue. Then I am putting my water on, letting the watercolor do this amazing effect that I'm falling in love with. By the way, I have to let you know that the paper you use and the watercolor you use, of course, make difference. So when the quality is a bit better, of course, the effect shows itself a bit more. But it doesn't mean that you have to have very expensive material to have nice results. When I complete the tail, I am just splitting some paints on it to have this kind of water splashing kind of effect. It looks cute to me. When my painting dry, I'm gonna put calendar of August on the top of it. Okay, my left side is dry now, so I'm just gonna write there, let's dive. And I'm throwing some little fishes around, which I think they look super cute. I decided to add a kind of drop shadow with a white pen. Voila. I think my left page is done. Now I'm gonna stick this painting on my right page. I'm using these amazing washi tapes, which I will be using in this journal a lot. They are lifesaver, and they are insanely cute, so I can't stop. And voila, those pages are good to go. Now we are moving to next page. Here there will be a general calendar of the month. To design this page, I'm gonna do this water kind of effect on the top of the page. And the right side of the calendar, there will be a gap, which I'm gonna put notes over there. So I decided to put a blue background to this section to split it from the calendar part a bit and to have some color actually. Did you see what I did? Yeah, can happen to anyone, right? I just randomly put the wrong dates without thinking, because mostly I don't think. But don't panic. You can just cover it with another piece of paper, or you can do like I did and use your nice tapes and cover it, and the problem solved. Now I'm separating the day of the month, and I'm doing it freehand because I don't really care that if my lines are super straight or not. To be honest, I prefer when they are a bit messy. It looks more natural to me. I don't know. So I decided to add some drop shadow under this water effect also to make it a bit more 3D, and it worked well actually. After I put some washi tapes, decoration, blah 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 blah. Now I realized this notes section title, it's a bit too light, so I painted on a dark blue and used my white pen to write notes on it. Looks way better. Let's move on to next page. Left side of this page gonna be habit tracker. And the habits I'm gonna track this month gonna be sport, food, sketch, YouTube, social, create, water, and health. Of course, you can adjust this section up to what you want to track the most, but this month, these are my top 8. But the last two actually, water and health, they are more in like trial for the moment. So I will see in the end of the month if it was useful or not. I can say that this page is one of my favorite page. Last month when I did it, got me very motivated just to fill inside the boxes. So more than a tracker, it was like a reminder and like a bit challenging also. So I wanted to put these 8 things here that not gonna force me a lot, but reminder of the things that I would like to have in my daily life. So I definitely recommend you to have a habit tracker on your journal as well. This month I decided to do in the like calendar shape, because last month when I used this habit tracker I put like a leaf shape to make it more like artistic, and it wasn't so useful. So this month I can actually see which date we are in and which date I was like more active, and probably this is gonna work way better than the previous one. After I downward the general shape, I am adding drop shadow for sure, which I quite liking it. And I don't mind if they are like straight or like very nicely done. I'm just doing randomly and I quite like this random kind of look of it. Now I'm adding some washi tapes around, and I think this page is good to go. We can move on to next page, which is food tracker. I start dividing the page by 5 sections, gonna be breakfast, lunch, dinner, extras, and weight. Well, it might sound strange to you. It's totally related to my recent obsession actually, which is about food. I really want to track what I'm eating, if I'm eating well, if I'm eating enough of some stuffs, and how my weight is doing. So I think that this page is going to be super useful. So the plan is to write down all the dates of the month and fill the areas with what I eat. So by the end of the week, for example, I can come back and check that if I have enough protein, carbs, or like veggies or whatever. And on this extra part, I can add all the chocolates I ate, so I can like face it and convince myself to drop it a bit, maybe. We'll see how useful it's gonna be, but I think it's necessary. I'm adding a little decoration of the page, then I'm doing these reference lines because my handwriting is not like straight, so I need these reference lines underneath. Well, I am almost done with it, but I'm going back this habit tracker place and putting a drop shadow under the title also. And voila, we are good to go. On the left side of this page gonna be highlights of the months. I used exactly the same page on my previous one and I found it super useful. If you're like me a bit, you might need this kind of page as well, because I would like to write my diary every day, but mostly I either forget about it or so lazy to do it. So while I'm having this bullet journal around me almost every day, it becomes super useful tracking what actually happened on my daily life. So I'm mostly using like 1 line per day. So it's just a like summary to know what actually happened, if there were something remarkable in this date. I made a very simple decoration, add some tapes around and add some reference lines underneath as usual. And I can move on to my mood tracker, which become my favorite page in this journal, to be honest. It's not about how useful it's gonna be, it's just about how cute it ended up. So idea of this page, taking different shades of blue and create these round shapes on the page, and I want to have 31 of them, 1 per each day. Meanwhile they are getting dry, I wanted to change this title area because I didn't like how my handwriting turned out, so I'm using this dark bluish kind of cartoon. I stick it on it and I'm writing my title on this cartoon with my right pen. I'm doing the same thing for the highlights of the months also because it was a bit not so clear, to be clear. So now we are gonna turn these blue dots into tiny fishes, which is super simple. I'm just adding these eyes and the like different shapes of the tail in the end, and they turn out super good. Like I wanna bite them actually, literally. No, I'm not gonna bite, no worry. So now I explain you how I'm actually gonna use this page, because yeah, it's not just about aesthetic, I'm gonna use this page. The idea is, in the end of each day, I'm just gonna fill inside the fishes. So if I'm not feeling so good, the fish is gonna be empty. If I'm feeling like very good, I'm just gonna design inside the fish and fill it with lots of lines. And voila, super cute. We are ready to go to the next page. Okay, left side of the page gonna be video tracker. After I put my title, I'm adding this like little blues on the side to give it a little bit of color. And painting a little coral on the left side of the page. Looks cute and super simple, so you can easily do also. And the bottom of the page gonna be belong to creative ideas. On the last journal, I gave a whole page for creative ideas, but it turns out that I'm not that creative, so I don't need a whole page. Just this tiny section gonna be enough. For the video tracker, I'm just gonna split it to the 5 section for the 5 weeks, and this is gonna be just enough, I believe. And for the creative ideas, I'm adding these reference lines, some washi tapes, a bit design around, blah 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 blah. Putting my drop shadows for sure, become my favorite recently. And we are good to go to the next and the last page. This one gonna be to-do list and achievements. First, I'm putting a base color for the titles and I'm adding these dots on the sides to mark the lines. When it gets dry, I'm writing down my titles, to-do list and achievements. Now I'm putting my drop shadows as usual, using my washi tapes to give it a nicer look. Cleaning my reference lines, and we come to end of this page also. Before I finish the video, I want to come back to this first page, and to make it easier to use, I decided to add this tape from first page to the second. So the idea is when my bullet journal is closed, I can just like grab it and voila, open and come to the first page of the August easily. Okay, it's not a like quantum physics, but it's something, right? Isn't it? Is it? So let's take a last look before we finish the video. First page, inspiring word, let's dive, and then general calendar of August. Second page, we have a detailed calendar and the notes section on the side, which is gonna be super useful. The one after is habit tracker, that's my reminder and my challenge page. Just beside food tracker, I hope that I will be able to track all the foods that I'm gonna have. The one after highlight of the month, this page gonna be full for sure. The one beside the one I wanna bite non-stop. They're gonna just bring my mood up anyway. Okay, the next page is video tracker and creative ideas that gonna inspire me hopefully. And the last page is to-do list and achievements. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to follow me on Instagram, feel free. If you like the video, don't forget the thumbs up. And if you have any comment, let me know. And if you want to see some other videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel. So see you guys very soon.